Rosewood River series, it's my first six-book series. And it's a small town. It's interconnected to my other small town. So Honey Mountain series fed into Cottonwood Cove, which fed into Magnolia Falls, which fed into Rosewood River. It's a kind of Northern California small town on the river. And I always love to do water, mountains. I think that fits so well into small town. So yeah, I love it because in a small town you have all these secondary characters that show up in every book. So people get attached. And this series is based on four brothers and two cousins that grew up together. So six guys. And their sister is the heroine from the Magnolia Falls series. So we kind of hear about them. They're teased in the other series. They're the Chadwick family. And you've got Easton and Rafe and Clark. I just released Bridger's story. I just got back from a little book tour for Crazy in Love that just released September 29th. So we were out promoting that, and that was a fun one. That was an enemies to lovers and super fun. And then book five comes out in December, and that is Axel Chadwick. And book six comes out early 2026, and that is Archer Chadwick. So lots of tropes in this one. There's enemies to lovers, workplace romance, single dad. One is a hockey player. And this book five that comes out in December was my first time doing it's very Western romance vibes. In a Heartbeat. Yeah, she's an equestrian, an eventing champion. And so I watched tons of documentaries and I just became obsessed with that sport. So I'm like, I want to write a Western themed book. So it was really fun. He builds custom horse trailers and she is, rides competitively, and that was really fun to write. So, I know the more books you write, you have to come up with new professions and themes and things like that. So I write in first person and I like dual point of view. So each hero, heroine each gets a chapter back and forth, which I love. I like switching off, like you're in one mindset and then you jump into the other. And then I do like to write in first person. My first two books that I published were in third, and that was more difficult for me. That was a couple years ago, the first books that I released, but I much prefer first, just personally writing. It's just fits my style, and I like the blurb to be kind of from their point of view. And it's usually whoever, like if it's a series about six heroes, the blurbs are all in that hero's perspective. But like the Honey Mountain series was five sisters, so it was all the blurbs were from the heroine's perspective. And I come from a family I'm one of six siblings, so six kids. So, I enjoy writing sibling banter and big families. Um, but when I start a series, I have a very high-tech system. My board over here with index cards. See, I always have index cards. So I lay it out. So I'll really get to know their personalities before I write book one because you're introducing all of them in that first book. So you have to know them. I just started a new series this week and it's book one. And book ones are tough. Like I have note cards everywhere because I'm like, wait, I need to remember what that one, his storyline. So by the time you get to like book three, I feel like I know them so well. But the first, it's a lot of world building and personalities. You're right. And you want to make them different. And you can't introduce them in book one way, and then all of a sudden have them broody in book four. So it's a lot of plotting out their personalities. I think a lot of my stories are very character driven. So I don't plot out the entire story. I'm a mix of a plotter and a pantser, but I set this series up and I know the characters' personalities. I know what the tropes are going to be in each book, what the, meet cute and the conflict. Like I'll know little bits about each one so that I'm able to set it up as I'm writing each one. On the sixth book is I say the single dad for last. He's a single dad. And throughout the series, there's been this thread. It's kind of like Gossip Girl, Bridgerton vibes. There's someone who's writing an article. It's called the Taylor Tea, and it's in this town, and it's the newspaper is the Taylor family owns it, so it's called the Taylor Tea, and everyone's trying to figure out who it is throughout the whole series. And in book six, they'll find out who the anonymous author is of that, who's been spreading all the little gossip that that's fun in a small town. So they'll find that out, and then the single dad will find his happily ever after. It's a single dad nanny romance. There's a bit of an age gap, so it's a really fun one. And then you get a lot of closure on the family, and then this set up for the next series.